Good afternoon, Flosstube. Today is Thursday, the 2nd of January 2025, and this is Flosstube number 31. I'm Lindsay, Cheshire Stitcher, both here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. Mostly it's about cross stitch, but I do share other crafts. Usually that's going to be my beading, but I haven't got any of that for you today because I was busy finishing Christmas gifts and I forgot to pick up the project that I'm working on. So. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. It's lovely to see you again, and a very warm welcome if you are one of the 2 new subscribers I've had since my last video, not including the PhD parade yesterday. Right, today I have got my 2024 stats for you. As ever, my notes are down here, that's why I'm looking down. I've got some finishes, I've got new starts, I've got PhDs, I've got plans, and I'm going to show you the stitchy gifts I had in Advent and over Christmas. Well, the ones I could get my hands on, because some of them I've put away. So first of all, let's get going with my stats for 2024. I started the year with 40 PhDs and a goal of finishing more than I started, and that didn't work. I had 34 new starts. Of those, I finished 22. And I had 5 finishes from previous years, which is a total of 27 finishes. So I ended the year with 47 PhDs. And I did a total of 149,713 stitches in the year, which is a weekly average of 2,879 and a daily average of 409. My best month was January with 15,314, and my worst one was November with 10,442. And I took a picture yesterday before I emptied my oat jars. So that is my oats for 2024. This is the one I use for beading. This is a brandy glass that I picked up in one of those antique crafty places, you know, big area with lots of little straws in it. I bought that. I've had it for years now. And then this is a big, what you would normally use as a vase. But yeah, that's my oats for the year. I used to do the totally useless stitch along, which basically meant you kept your oats, your ends. And so that's mine. I've measured it from, so I measured it from here, and there is 6 inches, but it was actually quite compacted. So if it wasn't as squished down as it was, then it would probably have been, well, it would have been a bit higher than that. So I thought you might be interested. Weird, I know, but there you go. So that's that for the stats. So finishes. Now, you may remember in my last video, I was working on the Stitchfinity Advent. Well, I finished it. I didn't finish it till Boxing Day, but I finished it. And what we did was we made napkins. So we finished the bands. The bands were then stitched together. You were told exactly where to cut them and that. And then we had a piece of soluble canvas, and you stitched whatever design went with whichever ring. Lots of people did finish it in time, and some used them, some didn't. Mine won't get used. Far too good for that. So that was the peace one. Well, that's what it ended up saying, peace, with a little candle. I have to say, stitching with the soluble canvas was interesting. And we had Joy. This is the one that I saw Emma Stitch's very first day of it, and it was just sort of this, and I thought, I want to do that. So that's the Joy one. I have discovered that stitching on plastic canvas is okay for a little bit for me, but if I do too much it makes my hands hurt, and this index fingers gets very, very sore. There were some nights I went to bed and my finger was swollen and throbbing because I'd done a bit too much. And then lastly we have Wonder, which was a star. It was an awful lot of fun, and I will get the one for this year, and I will attempt to do Flossmas. Can't guarantee it'll work, but we'll give it a go. I also finished, at long, long last, Thimble Fairy. She's all done. I mean, last time you saw her, I had bits of wings, bits of backstitch, and that was it, and the beading. So there she is, she's all done. Fabric is slightly spring from Sparklies. I'm going to do all of the Stitching Fairies on the same fabric, just that they've got that common link. When I'll do one of the other ones, I have no idea. I think there's 5 or 6, and I've done, this is the second one I've done. She was enjoyable, it's just I dragged her out for whatever reason. But she's done now. And then the last one is actually a start and a finish, and I've just realised I didn't grab my board. Excuse me a second. Really good at not grabbing my board, aren't I? Some years I decide I fancy having a stitch that I start on Christmas Eve and do Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and then work on it till it's finished. And last year was one of those years that I decided to do that, and this is what I did. Have yourself a merry little Christmas from the Drawn Thread. I've had this chart in my stash for I don't know how long, and it's been whispering in my ear on and off for the last couple of years coming up to Christmas, and this year I decided was the year it was getting done. So there we go. Fabric is 35 count Baby's Breath from Wheat Dye Works. One of the pieces I bought at the Yorkshire Stitching Retreat back at the end of October, and it uses a few now called Threadworks needle necessities. So the green was, I can't remember the number, then the red was called Razzle Dazzle, the gold, and the grey of the smoke in the chimneys. Thoroughly enjoyed doing it. It took me a little bit longer than it would normally have taken because Boxing Day I went over to my daughter's house and we stayed overnight, so not as much stitching time because you're at your daughter's house and you're playing games and boys were about, and you know, all the stuff you do as families at Christmas. So there we go. So this was my last finish of 2024. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was such a lovely little stitch, and the chart's going off to Jeanette so that she can stitch it, and then I'll either give it away or sell it. Depends what I feel like at the time. So that's that finishes. So let's go on to my new starts. Now, I decided I wanted to do a blessing sampler this year. Sorry, I'm having to reach over. I've got stuff piled up beside me as ever. And I was umming and ahhing and kind of trying to work out what I was going to do and where I was going to. Can't see if I'm looking for it. What I was going to do, I was trying to find out information, and in the end I basically discovered that a blessing sampler is one that you start on the 1st of January and finish by the 31st of January, and it is supposed to bring you luck for the coming year. Well, given how bad the last few years have been for me, I figured it can't hurt. So I started it. I've done 301 stitches so far. I can't show you a picture because it was a freebie. Roughly translates to schoolgirl pattern. It was given as a freebie from Sew ID when I signed up for the updates on the red sampler book that she's in the process of doing, writing, having photographed and charts made and all of that. And we were given, when you signed up, you got sent a freebie, so that's it. My fabric is a piece of 36 count cream Edinburgh that was a gift a few years ago, and I am using another gift. I am using Roxy Floss. I've never ever used a Roxy Floss before, but at the Cheshire Stitchers in December, Sally from Flossy Sews and Grows gave me a little package, and she went, "It's just a little something," because I'd made her a bag. I just made her a bag because I thought she'd like the fabric. It was for her quack along. So anyway, so she gave me this, and while I'm on about Flossie Sews and Grows, I got a set of her cards as well. So that was my little gift. This is Merlot, and when I messaged her and thanked her, she said she thought I might like to use that for the blessing sampler because I'd been talking about it at Cheshire Stitchers. So there we go. It's really nice. It's lovely to work with. Like I say, I've never had a Roxy Floss before, but I am thoroughly enjoying it. There you go, another look. So I've worked out there are 4,360 stitches in it. And according to Pattern Keeper, there's some other stitches that are unidentified, but they don't actually exist when you look at the chart. I don't know what it is, but it's put in like 16 of one colour and 21 of another colour. But I've worked out, going on the correct 4,360, that I need to do 140 a day to get it finished by the 31st of January. Well, this is what I did yesterday. I haven't touched it as yet today. So I will be working on it a little bit later on. But thoroughly enjoying that one. So my next new start was also yesterday, and this is my official, or I'm referring to it as my official January 1st start because it's going to take all year. Jardin Privé's ABC de la Broderie, which basically means ABCs of the embroiderer. So I've started up here with the girl, and when I showed Jeanette a picture last night, she went, "It's got a face on it. What are you doing that for?" Well, yes, it has got a face, but I haven't actually done the face as yet. And this is as far as I got with her. So I haven't actually done a face yet. I've worked out, going on the length given for the fabric, that I need to do 2.5 to 3 inches every month to get it finished by the end of the year. And I've worked that out simply because this is one of my 25 and 25. This is project number 2. my blessing sampler is number 1 for 25 and 25. So yeah, I need to do 2 to 3 inches on it every month because I'm using 36 count linen. So it tells me it's going to be 31.8 inches long, so it's roughly 2.5 to 3 inches a month to get it finished. Shouldn't be too difficult, really. So I may not get back to this one today. If I don't get it today, it'll be tomorrow. I will be working on it a little bit more. And then my last new start, you may remember I told you last year that I signed up for the paid stitch along, and I am doing the Steampunk portal. So I've started that this morning. I've started up here in the corner, and I'm coming down this bit at the minute. You get 4 pages on the 1st of January, although we actually got them about the 28th of December, but I decided there was no way I was going to start it before New Year, mostly because I wasn't ready, but I didn't want to have another new start in 24 that obviously didn't stand a chance of finishing. So we get 4 pages, like I say, 1st of January, we get another 4 pages on the 1st of April, another 4 pages June, I think it was, or July, and then in October we get all the remaining pages. We have to get 6 pages, is it done? I think it's 6 full pages completed by the end of the year to get all the other stitch along charts that you had a choice of. There was a dozen you could pick from. So I would like to at least get it that far. If you finish it, you get to pick one from the catalogue as well. Now I only started this morning, so I will be doing more work on it, but that's all I've got so far. Not a lot. That is 116 stitches, so that is 0.41% of this release. Like I say, the first 4 pages. So I will be going back to that when I've finished recording and done all the faffing that is then involved once you've recorded. I would like to try and get it to 1% by the end of the day. And given that I'm just literally doing black, shouldn't be a problem. So I will be going back. Oh, and my needle minder is one of the gifts I've had over Christmas. It's a Lakeside Needlecraft one, but I can't remember if it was an Advent gift or a Christmas Eve box gift or whatever, because there was quite a lot, because I did a Christmas Eve exchange on one, and that was a lot of fun. Took a picture of the contents of the box, and I'll just get the picture up for you. I mean, I'll show you the stitchy bits in a second, but I took a picture of the contents of the box, and it was lovely. It's a really good box, lovely box. And the second I took the picture, a hand came in and nabbed that pudding, that Cadbury's Christmas pudding there. Ooh. I've had the socks on, they were lovely and warm. That vanished. My partner was like, oh, can I have it? Can I have it? Tell you, it was absolutely, that's the box it came in. I know you're probably not interested in half of this, but never mind. That's the box it all came in. And then when I opened the box, my partner was amazed. No, we're going the wrong way. With everything that was in it. It was absolutely packed. Well and truly packed. I keep scrolling the wrong way. I'll get there in a minute, and then when I get the picture, oh, there we go. That's what I had. Christmas Eve morning, I opened it up, and my partner was like, "Wow, you got to open all them?" I'm like, "Yeah." He says, "Can I help?" So I let him open a few of them. I'd pick one out and open it up, and then I'd give him one. And he happened to open the Christmas pudding. He's like, "Can I eat it?" "No, you can't. You can have it later. I've got to take a picture of it first." So, yeah, a lot of fun. But the stitchy bits I will show you properly in a minute. So, onto my PhDs from before Christmas. And I've just realised I didn't wish you a happy new year. I hope you all had a lovely Christmas and you were spoilt rotten by your family and your friends. And if you spent it on your own, I hope you still had a good day and managed to get lots of stitching in. And happy new year. I hope that was a good one. We were in bed by midnight because my partner was in work on New Year's Day, so yesterday, which is why I recorded yesterday. So anyway, back to my waffling. Oh no, back to the stitching from my waffling. Oh, I feel like I'm so out of practice at this, and it's only a couple of weeks. So between my last video and this one, I only worked on a few projects. I mean, and if you watched the PhD parade yesterday, you've already seen all of these anyway. I did a little bit on the snowman. I think I filled his hat in. I may have brought this blue down a little bit, but I did fill his hat in and put his red band on his hat. Here's another one. I'll keep pulling him out and plodding away at him. I worked on a commission piece. I don't think I've got the camera in quite the right place because I seem to have everything a lot closer to me than I would normally. But I'm not restarting. So yeah, my commission piece. She hasn't been touched for a couple of weeks now because I was finishing things and we've had Christmas, and I always, if any time I've got any kind of commission work to do, I always take Christmas off. The rest of the world takes Christmas off, why shouldn't I? So I will be back to her tomorrow. It's getting a bit late in the day now for her. I usually do her first thing in the morning. So, and as I said yesterday in my PhD, if you watched it, if you didn't, I'm not going to be repeating myself. Most of what is left is all of this here, and that is her outfit, and it's all large sort of blocks of colour. So I am aiming for end of March to the middle of April to get her finished. I need her finished, not least because I get paid, but I would like to be able to work on other projects of mine as focus pieces. And then we have the Gruffalo, which is a Love Quilt square. I got my dates mixed up and thought he was due at the end of January. He isn't. He was due at the end of December, so obviously I've missed it. So I will finish him, and I will either keep him until somebody else wants the Gruffalo, or I will send him in as an any child square. I feel really bad that I didn't get it done in time, but that's life. Can't be helped. And then the last project that had attention, thank you, Lizzie. Lizzie was sitting on the picture. It was Merry and Bright. I did a little bit of this in between Christmas. Well, between my last video and Christmas. This is a candidate for my out and about project for this year. Well, hopefully this year, till it's finished. I am thinking about adding this one, even though I might be doing Christmas in January. So I don't know, I might do something else and leave this till later in the year. What I have done, well, I'm now up to 1,937 stitches of 5,196, which is 37.28%, but that doesn't include the back stitch because it's on Pattern Keeper, and as you know, Pattern Keeper doesn't do back stitch. So there we go. I think I did that tree, and I did odd little bits, and I did all the odd little, you know, all the little white sort of snowflakey bits. I'm doing it on a piece of 32 count cream or platinum Murano with the called for DMCs, apart from the boxes. The boxes should have been done in white, and I changed it to 762 because I wasn't happy with how the boxes were looking, with how the lines were looking. And that's that. That's the only PhDs I've got for you this time round. So there we go. So next, plans. So as I've already said, I'm doing the Hate Stitch Along. So you'll be seeing that every Flosstube. I just want to see if I can actually do it. We'll find out, won't we? I'm going to do 25 and 25. So as I've already said, the red sampler and the ABC are my first two projects for 25 and 25. My personal criteria for that was it had to be in my stash on the 25th. Friday the 13th of December last year. If it wasn't in my stash, it's not eligible in my eyes to be 25 and 25. So the Blessing sampler, the pattern I had, the fabric I had, and I was going to do it in red anyway, so it was just the thread. So for me, 2 out of 3 is fine. What was the other one? Oh, Whip Go. I knew there was another one. Whip Go. I'm going to have a go at Whip Go. I need a drink. I do apologise. And Jeanette did tell me off for not having a blue drink. I've got Mango Tango again. Unfortunately, that may well become the normal that I don't have a blue drink because I can't get it. It might have just been a summer thing. Right, I need to move a few things out of the way. So, right, Whip Go. I'm going to have a go at Whip Go this year. I've written my list. I should have had it to hand to show you. And I'm going to aim for 500 stitches on each project. So in my next video, I will hopefully have one of them done. And I didn't even I told you I was feeling a bit disorganised and not like, well, no, not disorganised, out of practice. I forgot to look when my next video would be. So that should be a week on Sunday. I hope. My partner starts a new rota on the 6th of January. So until he actually gives me a printout of when he's working and when he isn't working, I can't guarantee at the minute one. I can't guarantee that I can do it. So I've just had a look and it should be on the 12th of January. Excuse me, my voice keeps going a bit wobbly. Hopefully 12th of January for the next one. But if it's going to be any different, then I'll put it up in that community note thingy up above. So, I've done my plans, I've done my PhDs. So all I've got left to do is show you my gifts. But this first one is one I bought. Again, So ID, they do an advent, and I ummed and ahed about it in the summer because I'm a very much a, what if I don't like it? It's a lot of money. But I saw, about the 10th, I saw a picture of what it was, of how it was looking. So I screenshotted the completed one, and that's the completed design. And it's by Thistles. Well, next year I am definitely going to buy it in the summer. And again, I'm going to attempt Flossmas. So I'll have 2 projects for Flossmas. Next year's one is October House Fibre Arts, I think it is. Or Luminous Fibre Arts. I think it's October House Fibre Arts. I've already said who it is. So I ordered the kit. I ordered the full advent. So it arrived 22nd of December. So obviously there's no way I was going to get it done. But it come in this lovely Christmas box. Unfortunately, Royal Mail have managed to damage it. And Royal Mail, in their wisdom, we've got your package. We will deliver it on December the 21st. So I goes on December the 21st and has a look at the tracking info. And until the Sunday morning, it said, it's leaving our Warrington Mail Centre. For 24 hours it was leaving the Warrington Mail Centre. So when it actually arrived on the Sunday, I'm like, oh, finally you've got your act together. And the poor lad looks at me and I went, it's been telling me for 24 hours it's been leaving Warrington. Well, we only get 1 delivery a day. I'm like, that's not my problem. You need to do something about the tracking. Anyway, beside the point. So, I have opened quite a lot of this. We got a lovely little angel. And I did look up what that said. I used Google Translate on my phone, but I can't remember what it was. And that's your little information. Obviously it's all in Dutch because they're a Dutch company. And again, I looked it up and it was just sort of welcoming. This is the 7th year that we've done this. You've got 24 presents and that kind of thing. So each, so it came all wrapped up in there. Now this is not one that you get goodies with, which is fine. So I'll just show you the first one. So I ordered the 36 count one. So on the first day we got Classic Colourworks, we got Mistletoe, 2 Shabby Sheep and a Jolly Holly. So obviously these are the first colours that you use. And then I, like I say, ordered the 36 count. And that's the fabric. Let me try it on the board. The sun's decided to come out. We woke up to a frost this morning. But the sun's now decided to come out. I know I've seen somewhere what the fabric is. It's a picture of this plus. But I couldn't, off the top of my head, couldn't tell you what it is. So I will be doing this year. But it's not going to be one of my 25 in 25 because obviously it didn't arrive in time. And that is just half. That's half of it. But you get the full finishing kit. I think part of it is that's part of what you get as your goodies, your extra goodies. So day 2 we got classic colourworks holly berry and Weeks charcoal, and that's pretty much how it goes. Each day you get 1 thread or 2 threads, so that's obviously the colour that you're going to use that day, all the way through. Now I haven't, number 5. So number 5, I'm only opening this because I wondered what it was. We got Weeks Merlot. Chocolate frog. That's why I pulled it out to have a feel. But you go through, I haven't opened all of these, but I know in some of them you get part of your finishing goodies. And this is number 17, which I haven't opened. I only opened a few of them. When it arrived, I was in the midst of wrapping Christmas gifts. Ooh. So obviously that's the ring to hang it. So part of your stuff that you get is your things to hang it. So the 24th, you got this big envelope. Now this, if memory serves me from reading about it, is, so that's the backing fabric. Isn't that beautiful to finish it off? But there's other bits and pieces that are Dames of the Needle, I think. Anyway, when I start it, I'll give you better information. I just wanted to show it to you. But I will be signing up for this year's one. And then there was a little one on the 25th. You got a little extra one that you could open at any time, which again I thought was a lovely little touch. And it's an extra skein of bamboo, because, you know, they just thought that some people may need an extra skein, so you've got an extra skein of bamboo. So yeah, that was my Christmas gift to myself. It's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. I do wish I'd done it earlier, because if I'd done it earlier, then I would have been able to do Flossmas last year. Put the envelopes back. So when I do eventually start it, which it will happen a bit later in the year, I will make sure that I've got all the information. And I do apologise for the noise. They're paper bags. They're good quality paper bags. They're nice and thick, and you've got a lovely sort of, each one is there's a snow globe sticker on each one, and obviously they're all different. So we'll put that back in there. They did offer a sulky conversion pack for it, but that's obviously out of stock. However, when you get sent your kits, you get emailed each day with a part. The sulky conversion was in that, so I may see if I've got any of them or enough of them to warrant doing it in sulky, but we'll see. Right, so the rest of the bits and pieces I received over Christmas from exchanges, either the Advent exchange I did with Jeanette, the Advent exchange I did through a Facebook group, the Christmas Eve exchange I did through a Facebook group, there was a Christmas Day exchange I did through the same Facebook group, and there was a little gift off my daughter on Christmas Day. So this is the little one off my daughter on Christmas Day. Now, she bought it not realising that it will be a knockoff from somewhere. She just saw snowmen and thought, Mum will love that, and I do. So if you have any idea who the actual original designer was, please do let me know so that I can credit them correctly. But I will be stitching this as it is, because it's snowmen and I love snowmen. But I would like to know who the original designer was, because going on that, I would like others of their patterns as well, because I like snowmen. So in the Christmas Eve box, I got Foxwood Crossings, Snowfolk, because again, you'd put down what you like and you don't like, and I said I like snowman, so not only did I get the chart, but I also got the sled to go with it. I'm pretty sure I've got some perforated paper somewhere. I'll sort that out later, but yeah, I got the little sled to go with it. It's lovely. My partner's sitting there and he's looking at it and he's going, what on earth is that? And I'm going, it's a sled. Well, what do you want a sled for? And I'm going, I'm going to guess that there's a pattern to go with it. And there was. I also got a little Santa. He's done on plastic canvas, which isn't a problem as long as I don't overdo it. So again, hopefully he may well get done this year, ready to go on the tree for next year. And because he's on plastic canvas, it'll all be whole stitches, so a lot easier to do. I was blown away one day when I opened one of the gifts off Jeanette for the Advent. Erica Michael's Sunshine Berries. But she kitted it up as well. And I was like, oh, love it, love it, love it. So this will be on the cards this year. Again, it won't be one of my 25 and 25 because I didn't have it on the 13th of December. She also gave me Blue Flower Sleeping Bee. I don't have any of the Blue Flower bees at the moment, but I do like them. So, it's Weeks and Crescent Colours and Gentle Arts, but there's a DMC conversion. But the chances are I've got quite a lot of them colours anyway. So that was another gift off Jeanette. Now you may remember in my last video I told you that she'd given me the pattern for Plum Street Samplers. It was a collaboration with Heartstring. She gave me the other half as well. Because I said, I remember saying in the video that if I don't get the other half of the gift, then I'm going to have to buy it. And she's like, she said to me, why would you think that I wouldn't get you the other half of it? And I'm like, well, I don't know, you might not. You might not have been able to get it. I don't know. So I have the second half of it. So I will be doing the two of them together on one piece at some point. And she also gave me a needle minder. So many projects, so little time. This is going to go on my Haid. So I've got it all year. And then I also got this. This wasn't off Jeanette. This was off. I think this was the Christmas Day exchange. Sorry, I had to think about that then. Piece of lilac ice, 40 count from Sparklers. Now the funny thing is, I gave my partner my wish list on 123, and she picked something out and she tried to order the DMC. Well, they aren't allowed to send the DMC to us, so she changed her plans and she went to Harrogate. And afterwards she told me that she'd been to the Sparkly stand at Harrogate. I'm like, oh, okay, what day did you go? She went the Saturday, and I laughed. And then explained to her that I was on the Sparkly stand on the Saturday, and she's like, oh my God, no. Yeah. I said, so it was either me or Kate that served you. I said, it depends which end of the stand you were at when you bought it. I said, because I was the one down the end with all the fabric, dark hair, and the redhead at the other end is Kate the dyer. Well, I don't know who she actually purchased off. She says, I hope you don't remember it. And I'm going, not a hope. You see and you talk to so many people. There is no way I could remember if it was me that she paid for this or not. Not a hope. Not a hope. So, it was funny. It was so funny that it just worked out that she'd bought it on the day I was there. So next year, she's going to let me know that she's going, and we can introduce ourselves to each other. And then the last one that I've got to hand, like I say, I've put a lot of them away, was another one off Jeanette, one of the Wonderland Crafts. I opened it and I'm like, what on earth? I dropped the lid. It's a little needle book. And the rattling that you can hear is you get there's a little bow that you can stitch. And then you get your magnetic self-adhesive, so you can stick them where you like. You can do it how you like. And that's lovely. It's one of those things that I've looked at and thought, that's really nice, but do I really need one? Well, that decision was taken out of my hands. So I will be, now that I've shown you, I will be putting my bow and needles in this. Isn't it gorgeous? And she went for purple because purple's my favourite colour. Other things that I received that I've put away, I got charts, I got a stack of beads, some bead pots, needles. I've already shown you the other needle minder. And then there was all sorts of non-stitchy things. So there was things like candles and chocolates and let's see what else. Oh, scissors. I did have a pair of scissors. I thought I'd picked them up. You see, I did pick them up. I got a lovely pair of scissors. I can't remember which one these were in, but aren't they beautiful? Lovely purple. And then I think this was the Christmas Eve one. Some ring bling. And he's looking at it and he's going, partner, looking at it and he's going, what on earth is that? What'd you do with that? He says, it's never going to fit you. That's not a bracelet. And I'm going, it's a floss ring and ring bling. And he's going, huh? I went, you know when you put one, you've seen me with threads on a card? Yeah. I said, well, that's what you do with it. You put your thread cards on here, and then you have a little bit of ring bling. Oh, goes over his head. But there we are. So that is everything. If you've got any questions, feel free to email me. It'll be in the box, or drop it in the comments, and I will do my best to answer. Happy New Year again. Enjoy your stitching time. Hope you've all had lots of nice new starts. And I will see you, hopefully, on the 12th of January. Until then, happy stitching. Bye.